Bleiki the Viking Mouse and the Conquest of Highlands. Written by Fabio, narrated by Leigha Nixon. Bleiki the Viking Mouse and the Conquest of Highlands. Written by Fabio, narrated by Leigha Nixon. It was a dark night in the village of Govangir, known today as Gudvangen, in the fjord of Sonjenfjord, in the western part of Norway. Mama Enelief had a long birth, but finally 6 babies were born. They were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, with a little pink nose. Papa Egil was there for the birth. He looked at his sons, and he was surprised when he saw the last one was completely white. Perplexed and pensive, he went out of the den, and he looked up at the stars, hoping for a positive omen of this event. The den was under the Nixon family's kitchen. The head of that family was the strong Viking Gunnulfur, the head of the village. Only a piece of the moon and some stars were visible that night, when suddenly the sky turned completely black. It became cloudy. After a few minutes it started snowing. The year was 972 A.D. Egil interpreted this as a bad omen. Resolute and sorry, he went back into the den. There, sad but determinate, he told his wife, "We can't keep the white baby." His wife looked at him white, and she started crying. Papa Egil took him by the scruff of the neck and took him into the woods. He walked slowly. The night was dark, and he couldn't see clearly. The snow doubled the strain of the road. Tired, he stopped under a big pine tree, and then he saw a hollow tree nearby. He went to the tree, and he put the baby inside. A covered place, he thought, to ease the remorse for that abandonment. Then, sad, he went back home. You should know that with Viking folk, if a baby was born deformed, he didn't grow up with his family, but he was abandoned into the woods. Life was hard, and survival wasn't easy for anybody. A family couldn't look after one who wasn't in perfect health. Viking mice learned this from Viking men. Viking mice had horns that grew out when they were adolescents, as you can see from the picture. Viking men used to wear helmets with horns, but Viking mice had real horns on their heads. The little white mouse started crying because of the cold and from hunger. His screams increased, but the woods were uninhabited. Who could hear him? Gruger the troll was skiing over there, far away from his village, and heard these screams. He followed the screams to the tree. He heard something, but he couldn't see anybody, so he smelled with his long nose to understand who was there. Finally, he took off his skis, and he saw a little white baby in semi-obscurity. So he put his 4-fingered hand inside the tree, and gently he grabbed and observed him. He was very astonished when he saw that it was a little white mouse. Gruger put the little white mouse under his robe onto his chest in order to keep him warm, and he decided to bring him to his village. Trolls are creatures that stay up at night and sleep during the day in order to protect themselves from sunshine. Males are no taller than 3 feet. They have long hair, big noses, and alternated teeth, one yes and one no. They are a bit grotesque. Females are beautiful. They have long blonde or dark hair and bright eyes, and they are tall and thin. Some of them have pointed ears. Trolls live in caves, natural or carved into rocks. They don't like humans, and they live for thousands of years. They raise animals for milk. They love it. For example, goats, reindeer, moose, donkeys, and deer. They don't eat meat, but they produce very good cheese. As ancient custom, they also eat river stones that they add to milk for breakfast. A heavy and greatly appreciated dish is pine needles with turnips. After several hours of walking, Gruger arrived home before dawn and explained the situation about the white mouse to the head of the village. After several hours of walking, Gruger arrived home before dawn and explained the situation about the white mouse to the head of the village. He called on the wise trolls to deal with the situation. In the trolls' village, men weren't allowed. Only animals able to eat like a troll could enter. Troll Nuok, head of the village, held the white mouse in his hands and said, "Our rules go back over millennia. We can't keep animals other than those allowed by our laws." The others nodded. One of the wise trolls told the group, "In my 1,000
Sample complete. Ready to continue?